All righty. Happy Friday. It is December 17th, at least if you're watching this on December 17th, and it is 10 a.m. Eastern time. So hopefully this works. Had a little bit of an issue the other day on one of our office hours calls for our Brand Creators Academy members. So we'll see if this actually, in fact, works. Hopefully it will. I actually see some people popping on now. So it looks like we are, in fact, live and broadcasting. So today we are going to be doing our scheduled Friday jam session. And what we're going to be talking about is, something that I do get asked quite often, and it has to do with monetization. It has to do with making money from your efforts, and it has to do with ad networks. So the question that we're going to be answering in the discussion we're going to be having is really about what ad network pays the most for blog content. And I think we all would want to know the answer to that. And there is an answer to that, but there's also some variables and some things that we can discuss there. I've actually had the opportunity to test all three in various niches. And I've also done a lot of research with other niche properties and some that are running all different ones. And I always pay attention to that because it does go up and down. So we will talk about that here today on the Friday jam session. Let me know in the comments, what do you got going on this weekend? You going to be working? You going to be playing? Or maybe a little bit of both. This weekend, I will let you know what we're doing. Actually, we're having our kitchen, all of our cabinets painted professionally, and it's a whole week process. And our kitchen is actually in our dining room now, pretty much all of our stuff. So we're dealing with that. And then this weekend, we are actually going to be doing a lot of driving around for my daughter's beach volleyball, not necessarily for tournaments, but she's got some practices and she's got a cool thing that they do within her club, which is they take some gifts over to, less fortunate kids, and they get to give out gifts and meet them and things like that. They get to do a team dinner, which is going to be fun. And then Sunday they have their scheduled practice. And then I'm probably just going to watch a little bit of football. Not really caring too much about the Giants right now, but I'll watch them. But they're not going to go anywhere this year. I mean, we kind of already knew that, but it is what it is. But that's what I got going on. So what do you got going on this weekend? Little work, little play, little both. What do you got going on? Making cookies for the holidays? What are you doing? Actually, I'm smelling a scent of baked cookies here at my house because my wife's making some cookies. So it's a little tempting though, because I want to go on out there and grab a couple cookies. All right. With that all being said, let's go ahead and let's get rocking and rolling here, because I do have a busy day myself getting ready here for the weekend and all of that. So let's get rocking and rolling. If you do have any questions, drop them in the comments. It can be about the ad network stuff. It could be about blog content stuff, niche property stuff, whatever you want to ask is always welcome. And if you are not part of our Take Action crew yet, you might want to head on over to takeactioncrew.com and officially become one of our Take Action crew peeps. And it's free. Just head on over there. All right. So guys, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. All right, guys, welcome back to another Friday jam session. I am fired up because, well, depending on when you're listening to this, it is approaching the new year, which is crazy, right? The new year is almost here. And if you're listening to this after the fact, well, Happy New Year. But 2022, we're going to be hitting 2022 this coming year, and it's going to be a great year. I'm feeling very good about this year. It's going to be awesome all the way around. Because I've got a new mantra, and it is focused in simplicity. Oh, and evergreen assets. Putting in the time so that way there you can reap benefits later and ongoing. That's what I'm all about. Not this, post 5 times on social media per day to try to keep the algorithm, going, keep your community going, like all of that stuff. A lot of work. And I think there's less stressful ways of doing it. And one of those ways is creating your own content and posting it on your website. So today, what are we going to talk about today? What's our jam session topic? Before we do jump in, I did want to remind you, if you're not part of our Take Action crew, you might want to head on over to takeactioncrew.com. You can watch some of the past coffee talks, join some of our past talks. And also you can attend some of our upcoming ones, which is going to be exciting. We got a lot of cool things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be discovering and that I'll be reporting on. So takeactioncrew.com. Go there, sign up, and I'll send you some emails and some useful ones. They're always going to be useful. I promise you that. All right. So what are we going to be talking about today? Well, it is what ad network pays the most for blog content, okay, or for content in general. I'm calling it blog content because that's what we kind of all know about, what it is. So we are going to be talking about 3 different ones, and 3 are the ones that I've tested myself. I've got some experience with, but there's also some things that we have to consider when discussing these. All right. There's different thresholds and things like that. So with that all being said, let's go ahead and dive in. So what is the best paying ad network out there for content? Well, it really does depend. I'm going to pull a Chris Schaefer here. It depends. Now, for the most part, you would think that AdThrive is the best. And if you've never heard of any of these, I'll just give you all 3 of them right now. There's Ezoic, Ezoic, Ezoic. There's Mediavine, and then there's AdThrive. Now, I don't know which one's been around the longest. I know that Ezoic is newer, I believe. I say newer. It's, probably in the last 5 to 7 years. Mediavine and AdThrive have been around for a while. I want to say AdThrive was first, but I can't say for sure. Doesn't really matter at this point, but I do know that AdThrive's been out there a long time, and so is Mediavine. Ezoic, I'm not quite sure on the exact date of that. Now, what I do know is that AdThrive has paid very, very well, okay? And the reason why I say that is because I have had a site that was running AdThrive. And actually, my daughter has a site right now that's running AdThrive. And I'll get to the requirements here in a second, because you can't just start a site, get a little bit of traffic, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 visitors a month, and then turn on AdThrive. You're just not there yet, okay? Or Mediavine. Ezoic has made it now where they are allowing you to be able to start running them almost from day one. And I'm going to get into some of the specifics here in a second. But those are the 3. Okay. Now there's Adsense, which is a 4th. I have not really played around with Adsense all that much when it comes to creating content like this. There used to be, the Adsense for pay-per-click, where you would get paid per click. And actually, a long story, I won't get into it, but my father had some really good success with that, probably going back 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago, to the tune of like $20,000 a month on a few of his sites. Maybe another day I'll discuss that. It's a pretty interesting story. Making $20,000 one month, and then the next month, gone, vanished, bang. Google said, no, we're not doing this. Maybe I'll talk about that. Let me know in the comments, or if you are listening to this, if you want me to share the deets on that, go through that story, be more than happy to share it on a separate episode. Let me know. You can always email me, scott@brandcreators.com, or if you're here live, or if you're watching the replay, drop it in the comments. All right. So let's go through the requirements. So this way here, we know kind of where we stack out. Now, AdSense, again, that's like the one I'm not talking about right now, but you can turn them on almost immediately. You just have to go through the requirements, which is basically just making sure that you're a valid website. They have to go through, make sure that everything is in check, and you have to go through, some approval or getting an approval for your website and things like that. They just don't want any spammy sites. But you can definitely do that. I don't recommend really doing that up until, and I should say this before I even get into the numbers, I probably would not turn on, not even probably, I wouldn't turn on an ad network unless I'm getting at least 5,000 page views per month, preferably 10,000, but I'm going to say 5,000. Okay. That's when I would turn it on. And the reason why is because when you do turn an ad network on, it will slow your site down a little bit. Now, they have some really cool things now where it's called like lazy loading, where it will load the ads after the content has been displayed, so it won't bog the site down. But we did run into some issues in the beginning. We've straightened them around. But I would say I would hold off, because I only want to focus on getting traffic in the very beginning. And I say the beginning, it might be 6 months, right, before we get to that threshold. But again, remember, once you get to that point, usually then it starts to really get some momentum. It starts to build a little bit quicker. So once you get to 5, you might jump to 10 quicker because you've got some momentum now and you're starting to get some authority on the website. All right. So let's get into it. So Ezoic, let's talk about Ezoic. I'm actually going to pull up their program here. Okay. So it used to be 10,000 page views. Okay. But now they've got something that they are calling Accessnow program. Okay. So now growing sites with less than 10,000 monthly page views will need to sign up through our Accessnow program. This program requires an educational course. After completion, the approval process can remain pending up to 10 days just for publishers in this program. And then it just goes on to say ad tester configurations can take up to an hour, but often our expert team can assist in speeding up the process. Now, we have some members inside of Brand Creators Academy that have done this, and they've turned them on before they hit the 10,000. And yes, they are earning some money, but it's not much. And here's why. Ezoic, what they're doing is they're giving you an intro or a entry point into their ad platform, but there's different advertisers. So as you start to build up your authority within an ad network, they will start to open you up to better advertisers, which those advertisers will pay more money. Okay. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to kind of give you the bottom of the barrel. They're going to give you different advertisers that are like, you know what, we're only going to pay up to, I don't know, $1 per 1,000 or something like that. And you're only going to get access to those, those advertisers, which is fine, but that's not what your site will really earn once you start getting to some of those higher numbers. Now, Mediavine, on the other hand, they have a threshold of 50,000 sessions, which is different than page views. And it basically works out to usually around 65,000 page views, but 50,000 sessions. So if you're just looking at your sessions, it would be 50,000. That's what their threshold is. Now, AdThrive is 100,000 page views. Okay. So that's the different tiers. Now, Mediavine, because they do wait for you to get to 50,000, they don't do none of the, well, we're only going to let you have access to our low advertisers. They don't really have any low advertisers because everyone on their platform has to be qualified and they have to get a certain amount of traffic. So they're willing, and the advertisers are willing to pay more because they know it's better quality traffic. So hopefully all of that makes sense. The big thing here to understand is you do have options once you start getting some traffic to turn on monetization. Okay. So Ezoic, from my experience, has been lower numbers. And that might just be because we haven't leveled up in their tier system. So we were running Ezoic on 2 of our sites. Okay. And both of those were at around, let's see here, probably around at the time between 25,000 and 50,000. Okay. So we were still getting a considerable amount of traffic. Now, the one site was only earning on a good day about $5 per 1,000. Okay. Now, to anyone that's listening, you're like, well, I don't know what that means. I'll give you some comparisons here in a second. But basically, the way it works is for every 1,000 people that show up at your site or on your site, that's basically 1,000 impressions, right? It's 1,000 sessions. Advertisers are like, I'm willing to pay $5, $10, $30, $50. So it will go up again as your advertisers go up as what they're willing to spend. So in this case, because we were maybe in their level 1 or level 2, we were only getting access to their lower level. So we were only earning right around, and I say on a good day, $5 per 1,000. So we were scaling that up. And I think we were at about 50,000 page views, and we were still only earning that. Now, we did reach out to Ezoic, and we asked them if we could get approved for their upper tiers and stuff. And to be quite honest with you, and if anyone from Ezoic is listening to this, you can reach out to me if you want. But this was our experience: is the customer service was terrible. It was terrible. We couldn't get a response from people, and when we did, it was very vague, or it was like, "Sorry, we'll send you an invite when you can go to those platforms." And it it was not like we were getting answers from a human. It was like we were just getting an automated message. That was it. So that left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Now, I'm not saying that I won't ever use them again, because I've actually seen sites that are getting 25, 30, $50 per thousand through Ezoic. So I'm not saying that I'll never use them, which I probably will give them another shot. But here's the interesting thing. We took that same site. Everything was identical. We were at the 50,000 sessions now. We went through the Mediavine approval process, got approved. They were very good. The support there was top notch. So I am definitely giving Mediavine thumbs up. They were amazing and still are. Okay. So we were actually able to talk to someone there. They walked us through the approval process. It took about 5 to 7 business days. And once we got approved, now they have to do testing. They have to actually take the ad placements, and you let them kind of run with it. Don't you tell them, you let them work it out, because they want your site to still be quality. They don't want it to be overrun by ads. They have the reader, okay, your visitor first in mind. They don't just want to display ads. Okay. So just keep that in mind. They're not about just displaying ads. They're about making the user experience really good. So let them do the testing. We did that. And immediately we went from $5 to $20. Immediately. Think about that. Okay. Now, some people would say, Scott, but maybe just, it was that time of year and maybe all the advertisers were paying more. No, that's not the case here. And I'll tell you why. We have never, ever dipped below $20. We've went as high as $35. We've never dipped below $20 on that site to date. Okay. So you can see we were just now introduced to a whole nother ad network advertisers that were willing to pay more. And that's because Mediavine only deals with those types of clients. Okay. At least that's from our understanding and our experience. Okay. So do you use Ezoic? Sure. Give them a shot, right? I mean, every niche is going to be a little bit different too. Give them a shot. Now, we did run them, Ezoic, on another site. And that site, we were, let's see, at the time, we were probably around 30,000 at the time we started them. And it was better. We were actually getting between, I would say, $15 and $17 per thousand. Okay. So it was better. Okay. Different niche, better. Okay. So I'm like, maybe it was the niche. Okay, fine. So now we again got that site up to over 50,000 sessions, and we reached out to Ezoic, said, hey, can we get into a better tier? Again, response was horrible, terrible. Just got the generic answer. We'll contact you when we're ready to give you better advertisers, whatever. Okay. We applied for Mediavine. This one took a little bit longer. They were busy. I think it was around 2 weeks. Got approved. Bang. Instantly jumped up to over $24. And we've had some days on that one that touched $50, okay, per thousand. 2 sites. Coincidence? I don't think so. Okay, that's just my opinion. Okay, so I'm a big fan of Mediavine. Now, that's Mediavine, that's Ezoic. Let's talk about AdThrive. Now, AdThrive, I only have experience with one site. I do have a lot of other people that I know that run AdThrive and they love them, but I also know people that have tried AdThrive and then went back to Mediavine. So you have to kind of test these different ones out. But I will say this, if you're on Mediavine or if you are on AdThrive, you are going to get quality advertisers that are willing to spend more. Okay. So, and I know also my ex-partner that we sold a brand with, she has dealt with AdThrive for years. She's actually the one that got us into AdThrive with our other site. And we were generating on that site. Again, we had it probably installed for over a year and a half. So we had about a year and a half's worth of data. We were averaging about $25 to $28 per thousand. Okay. And this was in a different niche now. Okay. And so again, really, really good quality numbers. Now, if you are just starting out and you're wondering what you can expect, all niches are going to be different. That I'll say. But for the most part, you're going to shoot for a $15 RPM or a per thousand minimum. That's what you're shooting for. Like we want $15, okay? And beyond. Okay. Now, what happens is after the first of the year, a lot of the advertisers are adjusting their budgets and it will decrease. And you will see that decrease and you'll get like nervous. Don't get nervous. It's just part of it. It will come back as they readjust their budgets. Okay. So we are expecting that in the first, January, I would say January into February, and then it'll start to come back. How much it goes down, I don't know. That's why you probably want to pay attention and listen to this podcast and the coffee talks, because I'm going to report back on it and I'll let you know. But right now we are we're doing very, very well with Mediavine, but AdThrive is very, very similar. And we may test it. Now, my daughter, Alexis, she moved from Ezoic to Mediavine, and then what AdThrive did, she contacted them. They basically said, we will beat Mediavine by 20% of what you're earning from them right now. That's a bold promise. So she has since went with those guys. And at first, because they're doing their testing, they say it's not going to happen immediately. She didn't see a 20% gain, but I will be going over her numbers with her. She's going to be actually visiting here for the holidays, and we'll be able to look and I'll be able to report back. But they weren't worse, but they weren't much better at that point, but we'll see. And she's getting about 120,000 visitors per month on her site. So pretty good though. Pretty good. Not a bad little site there that's cranking out a little bit of cash. Recurring, by the way. So that's AdThrive. So we got Ezoic, we got Mediavine, we got AdThrive. Do I know which one will be the best for you? No, we have to test them. And it will come naturally because in the beginning, you're probably not going to be able to go to Mediavine right away. So we got to start with Ezoic. Start with Ezoic, see what happens. And actually, whatever you get there is better than nothing, right? But I would hold off until you get to at least 5,000 page views, preferably maybe 10. Okay. But I know once you get to 5, you're like, let me turn it on and see what things are going to happen. So that's what I would do there. All right. So hopefully this has helped you understand the 3 main ones. Now it's crazy because I was doing a little bit of doing a little niche hacking for one of our web classes. And I discovered a niche that was running AdSense, and they were doing like $60 per 1,000, which was insane. So I don't know if it was just a niche or whatever. Now I'm not ruling them out, but even Chris Schaefer had said he's never heard of anything like that before. He ever seen anything like that before. So keep an eye on that. But that's the other cool thing is when you start to get into this world of building niche properties, you start to see and hear other sites that are earning from other networks like that, like AdSense. And it just kind of puts it on your alert, where you're like, you know what, let me kind of pay attention to that. Maybe it's something, but for the most part, AdSense, I have not heard that you're earning all that much, but maybe it's just an outlier. Who knows? All right. So guys, that is going to wrap up our Friday jam session. I did want to answer some questions. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to stop the podcast now so you guys can get on with your day. If you do want to listen in on any of our Friday jam session questions, then I would definitely recommend you head on over to takeactioncrew.com. You can probably listen back to this one, but you can also listen to future ones or join us live. All right, guys. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, take care, take action, and I'll talk to you soon. Cut. All right, guys, let's see what we got. We got some questions. I know we got questions. Let's see. What's up, Alpondro? Thanks for the apple, my man. Okay, cool. If Alpondro says, if your motto is evergreen content, when will you hold another interest workshop? What do you mean, Alpondro? Like, when will I do another like evergreen content? That's our content creation challenge, really is about that. So it's about creating content that gets indexed, that gets put out there on the interwebs, and you get traffic, and that's evergreen. Maybe you can elaborate. What's up, Gio? Good to see you. Which ad network is better for a new site that's only a month old? It depends on the traffic. And if you're getting traffic, I would wait until I get to 5,000, which I mentioned earlier. Of course, we want to hear the specifics on that $20,000 a month story. Yeah. Now that'll be a good one. Like I said, maybe I'll do that on an upcoming episode. I think that would be a good one because there's a lot of lessons learned there. I think it was really good. I was actually experiencing some good success with that as well. I say good, not as good as my father. Funny story on how it all happened, and then how it got shut down, and then how I learned a lesson from that one as well, and so did my father. Yeah, Giselle says, yeah, your dad's story sounds interesting. It does. Let's see. Do you have to have qualifying traffic per month for more than 1 month to apply? No, it has to be the previous 30. So it's just your previous 30. Once you get in, you're kind of in. They won't go back and go, oh, you dropped below the 50,000 sessions, we're going to remove you. That's not how it works. They just want to know that you proved yourself to get there. Yeah, Karen says lots of good content, lots to think about. Yeah, Karen, the hot seat is posted now. You can go rewatch that. That's inside of Brand Creators Academy. And then also our 5 website review session, which we did your site as well, is there inside of the members portal as well. And yeah, the biggest thing for you, Karen, and anyone else listening is listen. There's a lot of shiny objects out there. There's a lot of like hustle, hustle, hustle. You got to go out there. You got to post 5 times a day. You got to go on this platform, this platform, this platform, this platform. You got to build your email list. You got to do this. You got to do is you got to stay in your lane. You got to keep it simple. And to me, the simple is do the evergreen stuff, right? If you want to have someone else like repost some of your stuff on social and you think that's worth your time, I need to see the ROI. I need to see, where is that coming back? Because we all know that Facebook posts something, it's gone the next day. Well, it's there, but it's hidden kind of, and no one sees it. Same thing with Instagram, same thing with Snapchat, same thing with TikTok. It's all of those things. I would rather take that time and focus on creating one more piece of content that can evergreen and be out there bringing traffic back day after day, month after month, year after year, right? That's what I want to see you do and everyone else. The Pinterest workshop. Yeah, that's inside of Brand Creators Academy. It's still current. Not much has really changed. It's the same strategy, but we could do an update on the Pinterest workshop at some point. Let's see. Would you wait for traffic for affiliate links too? No, I would put the affiliate links, but only where they made sense. Like if you're talking about an article or it's a product and you're mentioning it in a blog post, just highlight it and then it would go there. It doesn't mean you have to make it all about that product. I would not start writing content just about products, right? And I've talked about this before. Talk about it again. Let's see. Oh, Fammy. Let's see. Have you watched the video on Spencer about the future of display ads? Yeah, I've been hearing some words and some rumors about that, and I know Spencer is well trusted in the industry, so I trust what he says. And basically, what Spencer has said was he had Mediavine. I think it was either the president or the owner, and basically just talking about how in 2023, about a year from now, don't know when it would actually take effect, is they're going to be making it where you're not going to be tracked again, like we kind of are now on Google, and where our display ads won't be as tailored to us as they are now. But with Mediavine, AdThrive, Ezoic, any other ones out there, they are going to figure out a way not to game the system, but to comply, so that way they can still have a business. Because if that business goes away, their business goes away. So I'm not really worried about it. And who knows, maybe I'll reach out and maybe even reach out to Spencer and have him come on and maybe digest it. And Chris Schaefer is always up on this stuff too. So we'll be probably doing our own little research and then podcast episode on it. But I would not worry about it at this point. I would still say that traffic is king. And if you have traffic, we can monetize it with other various ways. So display ads are great. I don't think they're ever going to go away. But it could be a little bit different as far as like who it's going to target, who it's going to tailor to. Let's see. Have you been listening to your Pinterest playlist? Excellent content. Have I been listening to it or others? The Pinterest playlist. I don't know what you mean there, Alpondro. Yeah, and that's what they predict that cookies is going to be dead. Then how it will suffer publisher or ad companies. Yeah, and again, there's always things, and that's when everybody panics, right? It's just like the Facebook algorithm now, or the Facebook ads thing. Everybody that, iOS, the big update. Now all of a sudden ads. If anything, it's a better opportunity for people that are now willing to do a little bit extra work to do tracking on their end. They can still, advertise. Will this be as tailored? No, it's going to probably go back to the way it used to be, where it's not as tailored, right? It doesn't mean that display ads are going away. It just means that you won't be able to cookie someone, so you can display that person that just looked at a water softeners. That's basically what it's talking about. But yeah, it's a concern, but it's not something that makes me say like, oh my gosh, we got to run. We're not going to be able to do this. It's just something that we have to deal with. But content is going to be content. That's not going to change. All right. So guys, I think that is going to wrap up our Friday jam session. I don't see any other questions coming in here, but I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. And do me a favor. Let people know about this, coffee talk, this jam session, or our time together in the mornings. I would love you to invite someone that you feel would get value from this. And if you just want to head on over to takeactioncrew.com, you can see all of the past coffee talks, and you can sign up to become Take Action Crew member for free. And I'll send you some emails, some good ones with some useful information. So guys, that is it. That is going to wrap it up. I'll be back here on Monday. We'll do a little Monday mindset, kick our week off, and we are heading into the holidays, and I am fired up. A lot of cool stuff coming, and the new year is coming. So stay safe and get ready for the holidays. They're coming, and the new year. All right. So guys, take care, take action. Have an awesome day. Take care, guys.